Be'ezras Hashem Yisborach Yom Chamishi Parshas Vayechi Shnas Toshin Ayin Bov Yeshiva Tiferes Avigdor. Vayomer Yisrael El Yosef, and Yankiv Yisrael says to Yosef, Hinei anoichi meis, v'hoya Elokim imochem, v'heishiv eschem el eretz aviseichem. V'ani nosati locho, and I gave to you Shechem Echad. I've given to you as a nachla, inheritance, Achad, Alach Echad. Shechem Echad, Alach Echad. Rashi says that in this pasuk is really going back on the beginning of the parsha when Yaakov asks of Yosef that he wants him to bury him be'eretz avosav. And he tells him, Lefi sha'ato tereach lehis asek bikfurosi, since you're going to be matriach, v'oisek in my kfura in Eretz Yisrael, I'm going to be misnaheg with you, mida keneged mida. And I'm going to give you a nachla in Eretz Yisrael that you should be buried in after the Bnei Yisrael come back to their land. The Eizoi, what's this? This is the city of Shechem. Shenemar v'es atzmois Yosef asher helu Bnei Yisrael miMitzrayim kavru b'Shechem. Rashi says, Shechemach et Shechem mamish. I gave you the city of Shechem. It should be to you a chelik echad yiseir alachech. Now the shaila is, how did Shechem become Yaakov's? What made Shechem Yaakov's? So it says asher lokachti, because I took this miyad ha'emoiri, from the hands of the Emoiri, v'charbi ubekashti, with my sword and with my bow. Rashi says, when Shimon and Levi killed the Anshe Shechem, all the Umois gathered, Niskansu, the Emoiri, and all the Umois, Svivoisehem, Lihizdavik, to start up with them in Melchama. The Chogar Yankiv Klei Melchama Kinegdon, and Yankiv girded himself with Klei Melchama Kinegdon, and he beat them. That is what this pasuk means. If you take a look in Targum Onkelos, he says, he veers off from the Pashut Pshat. He said, I got this piece of land, bitzloisi uviva usi, through my davening, my HaRav, and through my keshes. Now the question is, why does the Targum go away from the Pashut Pshat? Pashut Pshat, like Rashi says, Targum doesn't argue that when Shimon the Levi killed out the Anshe Shechem, there began a ganze Melchama, and there was a whole war and a battle. It doesn't argue that fact. It doesn't argue the fact at all. Right? So why does he say that Pashut Pshat? And what's the pshat over here? Did Yankiv, if you read the Targum, it sounds Targum is saying, Yankiv opened up a Tillim, and he started to daven. Hashem said, give me Shem, give me Shem, give me Shem. He said, okay, Shem, sure. That's what it sounds like. What's the pshat? Why would the Targum say the Pashup pshat? But the emes is the Targum says the Pashup pshat. And it says over here, Nerdik Yisoid. Yaakov Avinu doesn't say, Asher lokachti miyado emori becherev uvekeshes. How did I take it? With a sword and a orchard cord. It's an afkamina if it was his sword or it was his bow and arrow. What does he emphasize? Bekashti. My sword. Why do you have to say that? And the Teretz says he was talking about a specific power that was reflected by the sword and a specific power that was reflected by the bow, and that was Sloisi Uva-Usi. What was unique to Yankiv, Yankiv's Koyach HaTfilah was not a Tfilah. Yankiv's Koyach HaTfilah was Yankiv's davening. But now, we still have to understand, it's still shver. Why do you have to give a moshel? Why didn't he say, Poshit, Asher lokachti miyado emoiri, bitfilosi ubibakoshosi. Why didn't he say that? Sloisi ubausi means tfilosi ubakoshosi. And the answer to that question is, we want to be makdim a story with the Brisker of. After 1948, a number of the people that were close to the Brisker of were schmoozing with the Rav. They were talking about the Milchama. They were talking about the Milchama in Eretz Yisrael, about the amazing nitzchonos, the conquest that this fledgling Jewish nation accomplished. So the Mishkarov turned to his Kravim and he said as follows: do you think that it was the Klei HaNeshek, the weapons? Do you think it was the strength, the morale of the people? Do you think that's what won the war? Their dedication, their commitment. Read many stories, books, how were they matzliach? Because they knew they were fighting for their life. And when a person fights for his life, then you don't want to start up. You don't want to corner a little cat that will run away from you if you go boo. If you corner it, he's going to bare his fangs and he's going to go wow. And then if you start to corner more, he's going to jump on you and you guys he'll cratch your eyeballs out. Because he's cornered. Everybody knows people that were fighting and came out of the Holocaust on one side. They didn't have any future on the other side. They knew they were fighting for their life. They put all their kaichos. So Mr. Grove said, you think it was their weapons? You think it was their dust? So sagt der Mischkarov und sagt, hat gesagt, was du machst ein grobe Teures. Du machst ein Kora, Kusche Teures. Big mistake is, you should know the conquest of the enemies was done mitchila ad hasoif al yidei the tfilas, the tchinos, the bakoshois of the tzaddikim. And he mentioned the Paul tzaddikim from Yerushalayim, or some given tzaddikim. He said they were the ones that delivered the Nitzachim, the enemy, into the hands of the tzava, to the hands. They were the ones who delivered. Now, let's understand what's the chiddush over here. There's no chiddush. The Chiddush is most people, even if you're from, you think that the army is fighting the battle. You have great missiles, you have cannons, you have mortar, you have artillery, you have very exact, you have these new things, Iron Dome, you have arrow missiles, you have all kind of magic tricks. That's what is an Nitzachon. But of course, the Torah and the Tiferes and the Tchinas and the Bakoshes is an Ezer behind it. Briskerovat Gedoga come and say a name. It's not like that. It's a Nishkaza. The Tfilos and the Tchinas were what delivered the enemy into the hands. So what were the soldiers? They were the cleanup team. That's all. After the Yidden, the Tzaddikim in Yerushalayim, the Yiddelach, the Rav Shmuel the Mitzvah good fowls, the Tzaddikim, after they delivered the enemy into the hand, now we told the Tzavah, you guys in the green uniforms, the garbage men, go clean it up, guys. Please clean up. Just clean up the field now. Just net weg the mist, net weg the garbage. Just that's all. Now, so one of the guys there heard this Briskerov's Chiddush, and he happened what Briskerov was saying, so he said, look, Briskerov, he said, if the Tfilos of Tzaddikim are what won the war, delivered into the enemy, so how come there were so many people died? Why were there so many karbonis, so many harugim, so many wounded? What the Pshat? Tzaddikim was Tfilos won. Hat der Briskerov gesagt, ich lach sagen am Meise von mein Seide. He said, when mein Seide, the Beis HaLevi, engaged one of his sons, Yena was zeichen to a great nat, a größer nat, big dowry. Other side, there is a podal. No? And the Zayda saw, it appeared to the Zayda that his son, the Chosn, was feeling good about himself. As felt a poor rubble. No, Beis HaLevi said to him, to his son, do you think that it's because of your milas and because of your meiser that you were zeicher to such a dowry? Du machst that toyos, you're making a mistake. It's only because you're the son of the Rav of Brisk, and the ganze Naden is lekovet the Rav of Brisk, Bishvili. And that's why you were makabel such a big dowry. No? Beis HaLevi's son was shot. So what did he say? No. He said, if the Nedunya, the dowry that I was makabel was because of the covet of my tata, it should be at least double. It should have been at least double. It's for me, it's a zayfil, it's only a zayfil. Beis HaLevi answered him back and he said, Hetzu. The emphasis, it should have been double. No, for was can ich done? You were reingemischt. Because you were reingemischt, there was a discount given in. But the Briskerov gesagt that in dem Meise, the Briskerov always learned from Chochmas. He learned gems. Everything his father said was a gem, was a nugget, was mamish, a shar. It was a Pesach to open up brilliance into the world. So he said, Avada, the Tfilos and Tzaddikim were nerving. And the Milchama should have concluded without one carbon falling. No one should have lost a hair on his head. No. But what's coming done? You have people that are koichim v'oitzim yadi, mished, areingemished. People that think that their machshava is that we are doing it, and we are bringing in the nitzachim. That caused a great price in victims and a wounded. This Yisod is what Yankov Avinu, who wanted to give over Yosef Atzadik and it's on the Kindle. He says also this is if you ever read that war, there's a Sefer HaYosher that describes that war. I remember reading it, I was mamish caught up in that battle. Yankev jumped on the roof, jumped on the walls, his kids were in here directing traffic. The war was mamish fast paced. I'm surprised not one guy came yet made a movie, Yankev Avigdor about war, you know what I mean? I don't know. But the guy's interesting. Well, the mindset, you don't want to hear from the story. Rashi alludes to it, Kama Mekaymis. This is a science, God Geshmaka battle. This is God Geshmaka battle. Why not? Avram Avinu's war tells us 4 wars, 5 kings. Avram Avinu, don't go kind of shtick. Garnished. You know why? Because Yankev Avinu did not win that war at all with his HaRav and his keshes. The delivery of that war, what delivered the battle into his hands was Tzloisi Ubayosi, was his tfilos and his bakashas. They weren't just assisting him in that war. If they would have been assisting in the war, but the war was a chelik, you got to dig up some kind of sefer to go find over there the stories of the war. It's not a toisus. That was the ganze war. You have to know that the HaRav and the keshes, even if HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts in the bria that a teva, you have to use neshek, you have to use armor, you have to have guns. You have to know guns never bring the nitzach. The true front, gefindt sich nicht dort. The true front, gefindt sich in Shammai. That's where the Muhammad takes place. And that's where Yankev Avinu said, this is the Dov Nifla. Big child now, from the called me up last week, he said, Brog, I think it's time we should get guns. What's wrong? You have a gun or Wycliffe. Why should you have a gun or Wycliffe? You know what the matzah is in today's world? I hear him. I understand the guy. He says, today, everybody's talking about getting guns. The matzah is, what if a guy comes into Wycliffe, he says, you're the first house in Wycliffe, and a guy comes up, he starts, him and his wife, some Arab and his wife going to come from Willoughby Hills. The mace, they're going to get a hair speech over there in that mace, new, what do they call it? Islamic Center. They're going to hear a ganze drosha, they can get this live. And they say, come in the Mukhana Mazuma, let me get done jihad. I told you, listen, if they're coming, first of all, Lishitosri, you think they're coming with a water pistol. Did you see how much neshek these guys had? They had $30,000 worth of armor, the guy. The armor he had in his house and in his car, $28,000 of weapons they had. They had assault rifles. They had 7,000 rounds of ammunition. They had grenades. They had, what am I going to stack about? Open an armory? what do you think? And you think when they come in, you think he's going to knock on my door and say, hello, Rabbi Yisrael Barag. Hello, Akbar, I here to make something with you. I said, what's your it's getting on the grass. I'm going to get my weapons, you get your weapons. I'm going to go in the front, I will see what we can do. What's going to happen? What's that sucker? I thought, well, you have to walk around with the gun, we're sticking it like this in front of your head 24 hours a day. What's that HaShLITA, you know what I mean? I understand where the guy's coming from. But he thinks if you don't protect yourself, the guy said, you make a choice. Eretz Yisrael, I was just reading one of the big guys said over there, one of the great things in Eretz Yisrael is everybody's got guns. There's guns all over the place. He said, and the guy said, that's what I pick on Haredim. They love Haredim because Haredim don't have guns. Haredim don't know from guns. Kilo Azay, that's the reason, Pasha. But not a Haredi, the next day what happens? A Haredi gets, a soldier, he gets stabbed with a knife. I think all your sheet is bluff. Because it's 16-year-old kids are coming and starting up with a soldier. They're sticking a knife in the soldier's neck. A soldier with a big gun, and they go over to one soldier, to the next soldier, one after another is engaged, and they shoot him afterwards. You can shoot him, doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. Guy came to the house not long ago, showed me on a phone. I was a soldier, a guy came with a soldier, so asked him a question about his papers. Little kid, I pulled out a knife, started stabbing the soldier. The soldier was rolling on the floor, and the guy was jumping on the soldier until somebody else came and shot the guy. But I remember the soldier with his big gun and with his case, God said, just the shtus of Avoda. And yesterday, 2 Yidden were killed by Shayaf. One a Rebbe from Tiferes, and with 7 kids, and one a guy who came running and saw what's going on. 2 Arabs attacked at one time. So this other guy stood, pulled his car, so was driving his car, he parked this guy, jumped out to chase the Arab, and the soldiers started shooting. They shot the guy. You understand? They shot the Yid instead of the guy. But then they shot the guy first. That's it. They made 2 Levi's yesterday, both in Arabs. So, but you have to get this in your mind, because we live in a society where it's the Second Amendment, the Constitution. Everybody has a right to bear arms. That's one in America. One of the constitutional rights is a right to bear arms. That's like, from the Yesodis Hadas, in America is Esav. I'll say Esav. I'm trying to think, what kind of nation writes a constitution? And you're right, the Yesodis Constitution is one of the biggest Yesodis, the right to bear arms. You ever heard, I don't think the Muslim countries have such a right. And I've never heard in the country put such a right. But that's it. In America, it's Esav, but a person has to understand that it's never the gun. A person who has a gun in his hand is mamish giving away. First of all, it's false bitachon. It's bitachon on a kanarotzos, and it takes away its meser all his bitachon. If a person would know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has nothing to do with me, it has to do with you. If I was zeich in Shemayim, if I daven, and then I have a gun, okay, so the gun will work as much as my tefillas work. Not fakir. When I get a good gun, not a good gun, you can't have a guy told me you can't have a P-shooter until you gotta get a Glock semi-automatic, you gotta give me a whole share and you gotta get look, I didn't shoot. I mean, what are you doing? So just make sure you don't shoot yourself in the foot, you don't shoot your wife, and your kids will get a hold of you, that's all. You have to know this. So you have to know that the perspective of a Yid in everything that happens in the world, when something happens, the first thing, everybody get together. The government gets together. The cabinet gets together. What are we going to do about this? So you have a guy like Obama, he gets up there, what do we do about it? He says, do about what? He said, what? So it was an Islamic terrorist act. What? What are you talking about? There's no proof to that. The guy's name is Malik Tafaziz, and his name is Sayyid HaRav, and that's what did the Shaykh say? Workplace accident. He said that's what he said. It's a workplace accident. Maybe somebody intimidated him. And it's aufgewachsen. Somebody made him upset, and aufgewachsen from all his arms. The one shot. He left the party, came back. But you are typish. So you have a ox running the whatchamacallit. So it's not a look at the matzah. But the rest of you get together. What do you have to do, Taka? You have to do it. You have people on the right screaming. You have to have, guns. You have to have guns. It's just screaming. But there's no such thing. Alma V'loma. No one's coming to America now. It's getting terrorism in America because of immigration, open borders, and everybody's letting people strike in. And then you have Trump saying, Trump against Trump, and he's saying, his elephant tusk, he's saying, no Muslims in America. No Muslims in America. Everybody's screaming. Scottish, no, I was in America. Okay, that's the Pitaron, you know what I mean? That's like saying, let's drink schnapps and imagine we all went to heaven. Except that the assistants, it's not shy to do. The guy who he's almost as smart as Obama. But a person has to understand, and the first they do is the Sibis. The Sibis are different. And you really at 10, I read 10 also, I read the idea, I read about 10, the government is thinking, what's the Siba, how do you understand what's the Yesod, the Shirish, then there's the lone wolf, first came up with this lone wolf Zach, then they came up with the Zach, now it's kids, it's unorganized, it's how do they prevent it from happening beforehand, Well, what such will knock the houses down, and the parents will give over the kids. And what happened? In a rare case it happens, but in most cases, when the kid runs out there, the kid says, the father wishes him, he says, kills many Israelis as you do. But he said, Papa, you're going to knock your house down. No worry, that's our donation to the jihad. We need a new house anyway. The Arab government will give us a new house, and from Qatar they'll give us a manak. That's what they do. People have to understand they're trying to verstehen the matzah. But it's the hebach of anything Yiddish. If you take a look in the Megillah Esther, it made the Gzeira from Haman. Gzeira from Haman was a nerd of Gzeira. You could have thought, and what happens? When Esther finds out about that Mordechai is Misak and Yeshua B'choy V'ir, she sends him a message and he said, Ma zeh ve'al ma zeh. So the Gemara says in Megillah, there's no possibilities. Shema over Yisrael al chamisha chumshe Torah iksiv mizeh u'mizeh m'suvim. That's the first idea. That's the first idea. You know why? He didn't say, is there anti-Semitism? Is Haman has a vengeance? Does he have a sinner's hadas? Is it hidden Amaleki? Does he has he was anti-Semitic? But is that the reason for this? When the brothers came to Yosef and the Moshe, he thought the Moshe was picking on them. What did they say? Ma zois oso Elokim lanu. I don't see once they said, you know, this guy is some anti-Semite. This guy is some crackerjack here. This guy is got some chip on his shoulder. I wonder what he ate for breakfast. I wonder what this guy is ticked off about. He's picking on us innocent folks. He's got a whole land of Egyptians you can start up with, and he picks at us. Which gets not to mention. You got a good dimension, but they ain't going to be shift the car. Once you hear anti-Semites, they hate the Fruma, the Friar hate the Fruma, they're out to get us, Lapid, Ayeshatid, they want to destroy us, the Zionists, the Zionim, the out. Gosh, it has to be Ma Zeh Zois Asalavikim. Esther Malko to know this. Well, if you're wearing sackcloth, obviously there's some Gzeira. What's in the Shayrish of the Gzeira? You know what he tells him? Vayagid le Mordechai is kol asher karo. What the Chazal say means? Ben benoy shel karo balech. The Ben benoy, this is a challenge from Shemayim from Amalek. That's all. And Amalek comes for certain Sachen. It's given his chashlus. And Klal Yisrael is given his chashlus. And the Bible says chashlus, we have to be mechazik ourselves. Okay. Jesus says, okay, let's make a tainus. That's 3-day tainus. And Isaiah will come to the Baruch Shalom, that has to be the mabat, that has to be the perspective of a Jew. As we're learning in the Chavis Halvavas at night, in B'tochen, that a person who has a great job, he says, how's Parasa doing? And he says, as long as I have my job, Baruch Hashem. He knocks on wood, knocking on wood. I told you, I see this Yid knocking on wood. What are you doing? What knocking on wood? Kill, it's bleh, in hurry, you know what I mean? I think, are you having sugar? It has nothing to do with your job. It has absolutely nothing to do with your job. It has to do with your partnership decided. Our job is echt. If you want to have the job, you get him someplace else. People don't believe that. People do not believe that. So this is the thing that we have to mechazik ourselves in. And to hear that it wasn't a mashal slice you lose. That was it. That was the haschola, that was the saif. And everything else was a mashal. And that's why it's not important in the day. Charbi Bakashni is Poshib Shah. My head, my keshes, my slusi, my mus.